Next speaker I have is Andrea McCready.
Chair Lehman, members of the board, and Superintendent Pontrelli. My name is Andrea McCready, and I live on Churchill Street West by the hospital. I was a plaintiff in the 834 Voice lawsuit. In November was dismissed by the judge due to his ruling on plaintiff standing rather than on the merits of the issues brought forth by 834 Voice. At the January 4th, 2018 board meeting, a document was left on many of the audience chairs by community member Carl Blondin. I have a couple of those documents right here. When I arrived late to that meeting, I saw the documents on the chairs and asked others where they had come from. One of my friends saw Carl leave these documents on the chairs and also gave one to her directly and to a district employee directly. This document was the initial settlement offer of the 834 Voice lawsuit, an email dated November 10th, 2017, sent on mediation day from 834 Voice President Zis Weisberg to the mediator Mark Manderscheid. Mediation documents had been described to me by the 834 Voice attorney as confidential. Therefore, someone on the board or in administration may have provided this document to Carl in violation of policies. Members of the board, I'm sure you know that providing confidential documents to the general public is against board policy. I quote Board Governing Policy 3.0 Operating Norms 5.5.8, private and confidential data must always be protected in accordance with the Minnesota Government Data Practices Act. Communication among board members via email or any other channel or form of communication shall be in compliance with the Minnesota Government Data Practices Act. Board Governing Policy 4.0, Board Member Code of Conduct 1.1.9. Take no private action that might compromise the board or the administration and shall respect the privacy of information that is protected under applicable laws. My questions: who provided the 834 Voice initial settlement offer document to Carl Blondin? What was the purpose of providing this document to Carl? Did Carl obtain this document through the written data request process? Had the board been advised that the mediation documents are confidential? Finally, if for some reason the initial settlement offer is deemed by the district to be a public document rather than a confidential document, I request the following. The reason the document was deemed by the district to be acceptable to be made public. And also, with dismissal of the lawsuit, District 834 also rejected adoption of the ethical guidelines they had proposed during the mediation process. I request that if this document is not confidential, that the district post its mediation settlement proposal points publicly and also address each point as to whether or not the district will take the action it had proposed and why. The district's response, posted publicly, will provide key guidance toward a more ethical path going forward for the district, so it would be most beneficial for the public to have ready access to it. If the person responsible for providing the initial settlement offer document to Carl Blondin is present in this room, I'd appreciate if you would respond tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.